There's this crazy stat that says 90% of podcasts don't get past episode 3. And of the remaining 10%, 90% don't make it to episode 20. We're at 101, so that's got to put us in the top, what?
0.01.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I was thinking I should get the R5C. So I put both my C70 and my R6 on Facebook Marketplace. I got a lot of clicks. One guy was like, I'm ready to come over and pay you this money to buy that camera. I ghosted him and I deleted the listing. I'm like, I'm not fucking selling, dude.
You're not
I'm
selling.
keeping it, dude.
She gave me these weird exercises I got to do. I got to do some of these.
Couple of finger
Hey,
guns.
good to see you.
Hey,
Not
how you
handshakes,
doing?
just
No.
You know, people that are like, oh, I nut 'cause I don't handshake. It's like, oh, I don't handshake. And your boy's been skating, dude.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I have WD-40 up my trucks. I've been just going up and downtown. I've had so much fucking fun, dude. I just cruise. I go on little hills and I just go back and forth and I just fucking vibe.
In Oregon, they did a field storm. Girl hurls herself over thing, breaks the ankle right on impact. And I'm like, that's what it's about, though.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Laying it on the line for the team.
That's what I'm
dude.
talking about. As a fan, there's no better feeling than knowing you're going to the ER that night
Yep.
because of a choice to bring the team together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 3, Episode 101 of the 505 Podcast.
Let's go, dude.
Dude, how about that new intro?
Intro hits hard.
Intro
Yeah.
was really good.
Intro is
I'm getting
popping.
a call.
You're going to call?
You gonna call?
Shit.
Pop that up.
Hello? Oh, dude. Gotta bring him in.
Bring him in.
Oh, we're bringing him in? The kid got the call up?
My boys.
Nice.
Welcome to the Big
Welcome,
Dog
Keon.
fucking table. Feels good.
Out from the corner?
I'm leading the new era, bro.
Hey, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. A few weeks, man, but it feels good to be back.
Feels really good to be
Yes.
back.
Oh, yeah. What day is it that we're dropping this? I got predictions to make, dude. You know, all right, Timberwolves still top of the fucking West. Sony's new lens flops, dude. And Bitcoin has fucking crashed.
Thank God,
Yeah.
dude. Come on. All right,
Yeah,
let's
you
get-
think we sold fucking early,
Yeah,
Brandon?
we did.
Jesus.
A little early.
We don't have to
little
get
early.
into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get that one-handed crack presented by Leisure Hydration. Oh, dude, I'm feeling...
That was
Little
so
hezzy,
primed,
but
bro.
that was good.
I don't even know if you cracked it, dude.
Just
All
wasn't very
I have
good.
Mega Dent.
Yeah, I see the Mega Dent.
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm going to give myself...
I want to use like
Whoa,
the
you're-
new Nate
you're get-
Norell.
You're getting in.
Yeah.
You're getting the thing. You're freaking everybody out.
Oh, that was good though. Oh, nice.
I think I'm getting
Wasn't
a
that
6. I'm getting a
smooth?
6'8".
Yeah,
You're
it
getting
wasn't
a
that
6'9".
smooth. It wasn't that smooth.
And
Alright.
you added a dent, so that's going to be a 4'8".
God damn it.
Go.
I'm gonna make it so that I got it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, yeah.
Can I make it?
Should I try
Walk
the
it
Nate
like you
Norell?
stuck it. I kind of thought about it. I kind of started.
I think you started on the table, and that's a big zero. That's a big zero.
100 episodes. This.
You think
Yep.
you'd be able to get a score?
Well, I'm not over here corking my bat like
Keon,
fucking Braden
right.
priming his lid.
Can you get it off
PEDs.
the table? Yep.
Oh,
Hit it, big
I was
dog.
feeling good. He's in college, basically.
Wow. Spin it,
Yeah,
dog.
dude.
bad.
That's
Spin it.
That
I mean,
ain't
you
too
know,
bad.
Keon's drinking White Claws on
That's
the
one
golf
of the best
course
ones.
every
That's an
day.
8-7, baby. Wow. Gets a call up, gets an 8-7.
I would say that was in the 9s, but
Dude,
It's an 8-7.
it's like when the rookies, first at bat hit a home run like a weird percentage of the time. It's
Yeah.
kind of a similar thing.
Exactly.
and then Stephen A is gonna be like, "Oh, dude, this is gonna be a future Hall of Famer."
Right.
You know?
That's what they're saying about me.
Oh, shit, dude.
You almost sold your camera today.
So, dude, it's pretty funny. I was thinking I should get the R5C because it's kind of like, it's a good combination of the C70 and the R6. There are two cameras I have. I have both of them. I like that it's full frame. And then so I put both my C70 and my R6 on Facebook Marketplace. I got a lot of clicks. And I felt I wasn't responding to people. I'm like, how do I feel? I need to go internally. And then I got one guy was like, I'm ready to come over and pay you this money to buy that camera. I ghosted him and I deleted the listing. I'm like, I'm not fucking selling, dude.
You're not
I'm
selling.
keeping it, dude.
Come on.
It's too good. It's too good. And this fucking R5C's battery life is terrible. Sorry, Canon, but it is. And the C70 rocks.
We've went
You're
through
welcome,
so
Canon.
much with that camera.
And that's the thing. I got nostalgic. I got a little sad. And I was like, I just know that there's more in this camera to give. You know what I mean?
So you have the R5C?
I have the No, I was going to buy the R5C.
Okay.
I have the C70 and the R6. The R6 is like my travel camera. It's like small, takes both photo and video. And then the C70 is more like professional,
Do you feel like that, like, price aside, budget aside, whatever, like, is that your ideal 2-camera setup right there?
You want that R5, huh?
I don't know. The R5 is like not that much better than the R6 because it's weird as fuck for video. It's better for photos, but I don't know, kinda like as like a guy that's doing stuff on his own, you know. I think so, and then I would obviously rent something like sick for like a commercial, but I kind of think so because the R6 it's so small and it like does both. But see, that's I was thinking I would upgrade my little like travel videos with the R5C. But the battery life's too bad, and it's big. It's like real fucking big. So I think I'm happy with it. I might get a new lens, but that's where I'm at, dude.
We're getting
Nice.
I'm buying you out of that lens.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I think we made a good move.
I think we did make a good move.
We'll keep the 15 to 35.
Get the 24-70 for you.
See, dude, you got to communicate with your buddies when you're doing business. That's how you do it, just like that.
Like live on the pod.
Like live on the pod.
That's how we do it. Okay, we're buying
You guys want to hash out any beef or anything?
Season 3, your hand's still messed up?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
I'm
it's done
sorry,
for.
dude.
Dude, I went to the chiro lady today, and she was like, "Yeah, so you could stop doing the stuff." I was like, "You want me to just sit in a hammock all day?" Like,
Right,
I
right.
can't stop. So she got me KT tape. She's got me KT.
You look cool.
I'm already feeling better.
You look bionic.
Dude. I'm already feeling better. And she gave me these weird exercises I gotta do. I gotta do some of these. I gotta do some of those.
Oh.
Gotta do some of these.
Couple of finger
Hey,
guns.
good to see you.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
not
you doing?
handshakes, just...
No, I gotta get back out. Gotta get back
Oh,
out.
sorry. You know people that are like, oh, I nux, I don't handshake. It's like, oh, I don't handshake, I... It's not a bad move. If you're not watching it on YouTube, I'm doing finger guns.
Do you think the lines on that tape actually do something, or do you think that's just for the design?
Oh, that's for sure design. She was like, "Do you ever heard of kinesthetic tape?" And I was like, "KT tape." And she's like, "This is," I didn't say that right, but
Yeah, I believe you.
kinesthetic tape or
Yeah.
something. And I was like, "KT tape." She's like, "That is the traditional name of it." And I'm like, "Okay." So,
Typically
yeah.
use Scotch tape.
Yeah.
But we can try this KT
They
tape.
had duct tape, but I said, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
weird design
Gap
thing.
tape?
Dude,
Yeah.
I thought you would have gaffed it.
I tried to, but she wouldn't allow me to do it.
Dude, speaking of exercising, ever since, episode 100, you should go watch it. When we did episode 100, we interviewed Spencer Shipman and we talked about his skateboarding film. And your boy's been skating, dude.
Really?
Yeah?
Dude. I have WD-40 up my trucks. I've been just going up and downtown. I've had so much fucking fun, dude. I just cruise. I go on little hills and I just go back and forth and I just fucking vibe. Put on my skiing playlist. That's so fun.
What kind of board do you have?
I have a Carver, you know, like the nice, like the LA Surfer Guy Carver board.
It's my college board. It's a great board.
It's fucking rips, dude. Fucking just...
And the flow's probably
The
like
flow's
flowing.
flowing, dude. I love it, dude. I
He's
love it
looking
so
like a
much.
proper LA guy.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I try my best. It's the Aviator Nation hat.
Do you remember when you came to, had you moved to LA yet, or were you visiting and we made the videos of
Visiting.
like
Yeah.
what was it? It was like what it's like to hang out with like an
Something,
LA
dude.
influencer.
Dude, our
And it was
YouTube
like me and
titles-
Chase hanging out and like going to the skate shop and
The
then like
videos aren't terrible, but I had to archive them all because the titles are so cringe.
Couldn't change the
dude.
title.
Oh, I probably could have, but it just made me feel uncomfortable anyways. Yeah. No, yeah, we went to the skate park and shit, dude. You did an
Yeah.
ollie, I think. It's pretty sick.
yeah, try to kickflip, didn't land it.
Work for the video though.
Anyways,
Anyways.
are you able to play softball with that hand?
No, yeah, but I had to go do a little lefty action. I was
That's so
just
sick.
batting with one hand, DH, and here's the
One-handed
thing.
backhand.
Here's the thing. Here's what you can't do. Okay, can't if you're ever playing softball,
Mm-hmm.
ever playing any organized sporting event. You can never let the other guys know that you're in their head. Okay, if you let them know that you're in your head, it's over. I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Okay.
Runner on first base, pop fly. Guy leaves early at first base.
Who's on first?
Okay.
Yep.
You throw the ball back, right?
Yep,
Throw the
yep,
ball back
yep.
to first. The umpire had called time when the ball reached the infield. And so my boy's like, "Yo, hey, he's out, right?" And they're like, he's just sitting there silent. And he's like, "Dude, what are you doing, dude?" And the guy's like, "Yo, you had to tell me time." And he goes, "Oh, so we're just making up fucking rules now?" And the ump's like,
To the ump.
"Yes, dude." So then they're going back and forth. He's like, "One more thing and you're out of here." And he's like, "You suck at your job." They're going back
the
and
ump?
yeah, it was insane.
Shit.
This is a rec softball
Right,
league
right,
at like
right.
8 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, what do we do? I'm in the outfield listening to this.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what is going on, dude? I'm over here like in left field in the corner. I'm like, are they screaming at each other? And the guy's like, when they keep going back and forth, and the dude's like, just admit you made a mistake. He's like, be a man about it.
No way.
It was insane. And the ump's like, I didn't make a mistake. And then we go to the dugout. Doesn't stop. The pitcher, Jack cannot let this go,
Holy
dude.
shit.
Jack gets the dugout. He's like, just admit that you're wrong and that we're right, dude. And he goes, you fucked that up. And the guy's like, I'm not making any mistakes, dude. And he goes, you're bad at your job and it's totally fine. The game ends. And he's like, I'm like, yo, thanks, Blue. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm trying to diffuse
Yep,
the
yep,
situation.
yep,
I'm like,
yep,
thanks,
yep.
Blue. You did great. Oh, one guy's like, Blue, we'll pick you up next week. I was like,
Holy shit. Dude,
you can't let him know.
The ump should have ejected him, dude.
He
You
should've-
gotta lay down the law.
He should have just
Yeah,
wound
which would
him
have been
up.
so fun to tell his friends about.
I've
Like,
seen a rec league guy get tossed before. It's the best thing ever. The ump just
Yeah, so funny. 'Cause
winds
that's like
it up.
the most fun thing you can do as a wreck.
For
a wreck,
sure,
you know?
dude. Let him out of there. Let
Let
him
him
out of there.
out.
Yeah, you gotta love it like a volunteer just like bringing the passion to the
Dude,
game.
so funny.
I think they got to do that in baseball. They got to mic up those umps. They got to let them cuss. They got to let them go ham. That one clip. You know
Did
what I'm
you
talking
see
about?
it?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I saw a clip recently of this batter get tossed for celebrating a walk. He did a bat flip. He walked and he got hyped. He like turned to his dugout, like said a couple words, and he did a bat flip. And he's
walk?
a walk.
And he
it
got
was like a tie game, like bottom of the ninth.
And he's just
man on
stoked.
second and third, and he's stoked because he got on base. And I've never seen a dude do a fucking Jose Bautista, right? The fucking
Little
bat flip,
Batista
like
bomb.
that.
Little Batista bomb.
Dude, on a walk,
That is
and then gets
funny.
fucking tossed, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Getting tossed for that's kind of a harsh punishment.
And then
but-
people are saying that they were like, dude, the stuff that's going on in the NBA with the refs not letting like the players play, it's leaking into baseball.
They got to let the kids play.
Yeah, you gotta
dude.
let him play, dude.
You got to let the kids
him
play.
roid too. Seriously, I'm like, just juice him up.
I mean, did you see they're starting the no roids Olympics thing going on?
That's
It's,
they're
pro roids.
Pro roids.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm about it.
Oh, pro roids.
Might as well see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be the most athletic people in the whole
I
world.
actually do have something. Speaking of sports, really quick. This will be fast.
And roids.
There's a whole thing about trying to ban the court storm in basketball. People
saw that.
think they're doing it too much. People think it's unsafe.
Well, didn't the guy just get injured?
The guy got injured.
What happened? A
He-
guy
Duke,
on a team?
a really famous Duke player got injured after the other team stormed the court. It's like the Dukes of the world that are trying to ban this because when they lose at away games, the other team usually storms the court because Duke's always perennially like number one. First of all, fuck Duke. So you can set up. Second of all, I've stormed the court twice in my life. The second time, I snuck in as pretending to be a manager to Wisconsin and into a Wisconsin basketball game. It was a very expensive game. Me and my buddy snuck in as managers. We had fake credentials. It was fucking awesome. Got on the court and we were sitting right there and we beat Purdue, who was ranked like 2, and we were unranked. There's a video of me, my dad has it, of me leading the charge on the court storm. Because I'm like already on the court and I'm like, look at my buddy Jake. I'm like, we got to get out there, dude. And so it was like one of the best nights of my life. I will think about it my whole life. It'll be a core memory and you can't take that away from the kids, dude.
I completely
Keep
agree.
this court storm alive.
At Oregon, they did a field storm.
Yeah, just as
regardless,
cool. Just as cool.
Both of them should happen.
Yep.
Girl hurls herself over thing, breaks the ankle right on
Yep.
impact, and I'm like, that's
on
what
her. That's on you.
what it's about, though.
Yeah, that's
what it's about.
Laying it on the line for the team.
That's what I'm
dude.
talking about. That's what, as a fan,
Yeah.
there's no better feeling than knowing you're going to the ER that night
Yep.
because of a choice to bring the team together.
Yep.
You know what I
Couldn't
mean?
agree more.
You know, you got to.
You're like Will Ferrell in the movie when he's streaking.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's
That
doing
was- that
it.
was-
Like,
yeah. We gotta go, dude. Yeah, it was literally just me at first. Yeah, it was funny.
Are you going to sell your camera or are you going to give it to me?
Nah, the camera's still being used, but
Okay.
not that I necessarily want to use it too much. But yeah, just like
Change of
lately. Say it again.
Change of heart.
A little bit. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of like, I have like somewhat of an all-in personality. So whatever I'm like going into, like I want to be like very into it. And like, obviously with big goals, like the process is going to be a longer like part of your time that you're experiencing it than like the end goal. So you better fucking enjoy the process, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I started getting into more, I had a little more time, started getting a little more into like videography, filmmaking, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I don't really know if I'm enjoying this stuff that much. I didn't really used to love filmmaking back in the day. And I'm like looking at all these like sports edits nowadays. I'm just like, bro, like everybody is so fucking good now. It's insane. I'm looking at these edits. I'm like, I don't even want to spend as much time as you did learning how to do that and putting that together. But still have a great appreciation for it. Like,
I respect it. I respect the self-awareness.
So you're just like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I want to do something else.
I mean, I think like I'm definitely glad that I've learned all the skills that I have so far because it'll be like a great tool to have, obviously, right? But I feel like I do like more like social content, like kind of lower quality, less what's it like less effort, yeah, low effort content, and just
Trying
more.
to try less hard.
Yeah, no, honestly though, but I'm more of like
Organic vibes.
I like building the brand. I like doing all the other stuff, but not necessarily so much editing and.
Did you feel like you're more interested in like also the business side of the stuff, of all of it?
100%. Because like for the pod, for example, like I've done all the editing for a while and I really want to start learning like other aspects of it and figuring out how to like monetize and create a business around something versus just like.
Did you have like a
edits.
bad experience? Like, were you filming like a tennis match and you're just like, God damn it, dude, I hate this.
Every clip was just white.
Every clip's white. Or were you just like sad or like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like chopping up the edits after. I'm spending so much time on it. I'm just like not even enjoying it. I come out with the end product. I'm like, man, like I just don't got it like that.
Bro, that's how I be feeling about my hand. My hand has made me realize that I'm just like, fuck editing, bro. Like I just
Dude, I'm team fuck editing.
You know what's funny?
I'm off of it, dude. But you're so good at
I
it.
recently did it, and I was like, God, I love this shit. And I thought I didn't like it I went through a year where I was like, fuck editing, and then it just depends on the project, dude. It really fucking does.
I think you're so right.
But I was like a RuneScape kid, like pretty hardcore, and there's still like. There's such an urge in me some days where I'm like, I just want to play on my computer, and I transfer that into like editing shit. Like the other day, it was like rainy, and I wanted to play RuneScape, but it was fucking Wednesday at 1 p.m. So I was like, I should learn more After Effects shit, and because I just want to play on my computer, and I just have that like inner nerd in me that I think editing really satisfies like that itch. You know what I mean?
God, and you're so good at editing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Man.
I will also say though, like when we were first starting out,
people were bad.
People
weren't as good.
People weren't as good.
People
You're
are crazy
right.
now.
You're right.
And we
You're
weren't.
right.
There wasn't like an oversaturation of, I think, such good editing. I feel
Yeah.
like everything you see now, and this is probably what you're dealing with, is like every single like kid that's like 14.
Yeah, it's insane.
Just chefs. And it can be discouraging because you're like, it's going to take me so long to get to that point of being that good. And do I even want to spend the time learning how to get to that point if I don't even like actually enjoy it?
Exactly. I'm just trying to lean more into the things that I know I enjoy and that I feel like that I'm good at, which is, building a brand, producing other types of content, not necessarily like filmmaking and editing and whatnot. So
I think though that's like you're getting clarity, and I
Gotta
think
know
that's
yourself.
important. And like when you're first starting out and you're younger, like that's the time to try shit, and you want to figure out what you like. But it's also important to figure out what you don't like.
Right.
And you found out that you don't really like the filmmaking and editing, and that's all good.
But
doubt.
do
I'm
you
pumped.
like working on a podcast that released 100 episodes?
I do. I think I do.
Do you feel like you learned anything doing that?
I've definitely learned a ton of things in these first 100 episodes that I think we'll get into now.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. Time out.
What do we got, dude?
Dude, Motion Array? Did you actually know that Motion Array has 700,000 assets?
And you can use them in Premiere, you could use them in DaVinci and
Let's
Final
go,
Cut, dude.
dude.
Come on. Okay, so we got templates, they got presets, motion graphics, sound effects, royalty-free music, videos, and photos.
So many things.
Everything, dude.
So this episode is like 10 things that we learned from podcasting, right? Something I wish I had known and I've learned now since when I was first starting content creation, I would spend hours, I'm not even kidding, trying to make like motion graphics, like the lower third text, like, cause you don't want to just do maybe like the, like the fade in, you want to make it like move a little bit. And I spent hours trying to figure out how to do that. But then I figured out that you can just save yourself so much time and download them on Motion Array, and they look way better than what I would like have made myself.
You know what time is?
Time's money.
Time is money,
Time's
dude.
money.
And that's what Motion Array is going to save you. So go cop down in the description. It's going to be the first link. Check it out. Let's get back into that episode.
Dude, let's get into these things that we've learned over the last 100 episodes. We have 10
Big Ten.
big things that we've learned over the last 100
Yes, sir.
episodes.
Oregon's going to dominate Wisconsin in the Big Ten.
Oh, shit, dude. Probably. Maybe not in basketball, but probably in football.
First thing that we learned is that consistency is key. We've talked about consistency endlessly on this podcast.
Chase
but-
got it tatted on him last week.
Yeah, focus.
Oh, nice.
It's washing away.
Yeah.
Slowly.
It was one of those hennas.
No, it's real shit, dude. Just on the finger.
Needle to the finger,
It hurt,
real
you
shit.
know? Oh, yeah, baby.
But anyways, there's this crazy stat that says 90% of podcasts don't get past episode 3. And of the remaining 10%, 90% don't make it to episode 20. So if you get to episode 21, you're in the top 1% of podcast, which is crazy because we're at 101. So that's got to put us in the top, what?
0.01.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I feel like it's one of the things that we've been like, it's hard to stay consistent with almost everything. I've tried to make the vlogs. I've tried to do all this stuff. I know you guys have too. And we actually are kind of doing it with this one. I think having accountability buddies is huge. We all like get on each other at different times to like, we got to fucking make a podcast. And it's just pretty dope, because it's hard to do that. I don't have like I have like maybe one or two other things in my life that I've actually like been able to stay consistent at. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you bring up the accountability. I didn't realize that point of view of like, we all do kind of keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit more difficult because we have 3 different schedules. And if we have a guest, we have a 4th schedule to work around. But like, you're right. We're all like, yo, we got to do a podcast.
Right.
Friday at 4. Friday.
Because it's like, because I always like, oh, I'm doing this thing, but then I get busy as fuck. And then it's like, well, I'm not going to do that for 2 months now. But it's like, hey, we really got to put one of these out. And then we'll be like, fuck it. Let's just crank one of these out like midday.
Dude, and most people quit. That's what you got to remember. If you just outlast people, if you just keep going with your thing, whatever it is, podcast, vlog, YouTube, whatever, you will have a really high chance at succeeding, because most people will quit, and most people, when it gets hard, they're like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this isn't for me, even though they might be really good at it. You know, that's just a fact.
You haven't failed until you quit.
Exactly.
Dude, me with fucking investing, dude.
Come on.
This time last year, for 2 years, I was down about, like, I don't even know, 55%, which was thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars. And at this
Hundreds
point,
of thousands of dollars.
At this point, I'm only down $2,000, dude. And I never sold. I mean, I rearranged a little bit, but I didn't put more money in there. And fucking, I didn't lose it because I never sold it, dude. Same thing.
Well, dude, time in the market beats trying to time the market.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? I will say, though, I think people quit too early because they don't see results right away.
Yeah.
And I think something that we did a really good job of is when we first started the podcast, we knew that this was something that we were going to give a shot for like years.
Right.
We knew it was going to be a slow burn. We knew it wasn't going to be like, yo, we're making viral clips and it's going to, you know, take off after episode 1 or 2. We didn't have any crazy like, you know, social media following to lean on when we were first starting it. So going into it, knowing that, oh, we're going to have to put in like years of episodes before we even see any sort of success. I think that kept us like in the right mindset of like, we just got to keep going.
And it was just fun. It was
that's
totally.
the thing.
It's so easy to sit down for an hour, and it's the most fun thing ever to just bullshit for about a topic of whatever that we're interested in. It's super easy to think that this is your job. Your job is to sit and podcast.
Right.
Is the most ridiculous, cool thing there is in the whole world.
You guys quit your jobs? This is just your job now?
Yeah, this is it. I told someone today that I was a podcaster, and it felt really good.
Damn, dude, I gotta get my percentage. Anyways, but that is like the biggest thing we probably learned, yeah, about podcasting
In general,
I don't know.
I think
a big part. You gotta fuzz.
Thanks, getting the fuzz. I think that the consistency thing though is just a non-negotiable. Like if
you got to make it a priority.
Yeah, whatever thing it is that you want to do, if you just take a little tiny piece of it every single day or week or month or whatever, in a year or in 2 years or 5, you'll look up, and if you've stayed consistent with it, everyone else that stopped will be doing something else, and you will say, wow, we just did 100, or we just, it's going to be crazy when we do 200. Is going to be ridiculous,
right.
You know?
And like, yeah, sometimes it's not like easy to stay consistent. Like we've done podcasts early in the morning, at late, like super late at night. And like Kosta stays up editing sometimes to like the middle of the night, sketch 4-hour shit.
There's literally been episodes where we've recorded at like a 7 p.m. time. And then I've just like stayed up until like 2, 3, like editing the podcast, scheduling it, making the thumbnail, the whole thing, just so you guys could get that episode this week. Like, I think it's very easy from the outside to look at what we've done and be like, oh yeah, they just put out an episode every week, but
they just chat on.
Hold yourself to a standard.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah, and I think point number 2 is when you lead with service, people feel that, dude. And in our space specifically, I don't know about how you guys feel on this, but when I was starting out, no one answered the DMs.
No.
And no one. And so I feel like the creator space was traditionally very gatekept. There's no one that was sharing information. And if they did share it, it was behind some sort of paywall. So it was difficult to find like, oh, if I want to get a job here, like what should I do? And people would just leave you on red. And so we really created something that anyone can have access to at any point in their career, whether you're a seasoned pro, whether you're in the middle, whether you just picked up the camera, and you can get something from it that's tangible that you can go out and put into anything that you're doing.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Also, going off of that, I also feel like people when they get into creating content on social media or just creating content in general, like they're doing it for personal gain. I feel like everybody like wants to go viral because they want a lot of followers. But if you can kind of like change your mindset and think about it like, how can I serve my audience as best as I can? You'll see more success because you'll create better, more authentic content and it'll resonate more with your audience.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's also how we come up with our ideas by talking with people. That was, I think, the biggest shift in even the content that I make, because it used to be in the travel space, and traditionally in the travel space, you're like, yo, look at how cool this shit
Pretty
is.
narcissistic space.
Yeah, well, I mean, how you're
self-centered.
Blue water, dude.
Blue water,
white
and
sand
your
beaches.
body
You're
that
just
you've been working on.
You know, it's tough to say, dude. Like, it's tough to provide value with that style of content that I was creating at that specific time.
It just gives you FOMO.
Yeah, it's like a FOMO effect, exactly. Right. And so now I feel like the things that I'm making and the things that we put out too are based around, yo, like, who is this for? What is this person doing? Can this help them? If the answer is it can it not help them, it's really difficult to put it out, because you're like, what is this for? If this isn't to serve someone, to help someone, you're like, oh, look at how fucking cool I am.
Or make them laugh sometimes.
Giggling's fun.
Giggling's fun
Entertainment's
too.
Great, dude.
Yep.
Entertain, inspire, educate, baby.
Do we want to go viral? Yes.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Do we want?
Have we gone viral?
Yes. Do we want to grow the podcast? Yeah. But we also want to help people and make them laugh, dude. And that's where the meat and potatoes is.
Yes.
If we go viral, that's tight, because it helps the podcast grow and more people get helped. And more people hear the funny stories. And
Absolutely, dude. You know what else you got to do? You got to find the white space.
I feel like this is a big
with
one.
This stuff. This is one of the biggest things, because I think saturation's a myth. I really do. I think every space in the entire world is saturated. I think if you were to go try to get into fashion, there's a bazillion fashion brands. When we started the pod too, I remember telling people and them saying podcasts are the most saturated thing in the world. There's no way.
That's all everyone says.
There's
all the
no
time.
way that you can build a podcast. Is what everybody says. Is it hard? Yeah, for sure.
Look at us now, baby.
Look at us now, dude. Look at us now, making
all wearing our merch.
Come on, man. You know, it's interesting because you look at any space in the entire world, and if everyone's going left and you go right, you will stand out. And traditionally, I feel like creator podcasts, even now, they're mostly centered around technical advice, which is great because a lot of people need technical advice. I look at that shit all the time. The lighting, the camera setups, like, you know, how they're running a shoot, whatever. It's more technical. We're much more playful, and like, it's more like jokingly giving you valuable stuff that you can use in your shoots or in life or whatever.
And I think you guys do like an amazing job at that, because you guys have a great mix of the funny stuff and the technical side in a playful way, where like, say I'm trying to learn more about editing, videography, this and that. I'm watching YouTube videos that from people that I just can't relate to, right? Because it's just a little bit too technical, or just the style that people approach the way they teach. But with you guys, it's like, man, I'm just with them in the room and they're just teaching me like, oh, like these are the buttons I use, this and that. So you guys do a good job with that.
It's like a hang and learn, not just like I'm Justin and Odisha. And then throw you kind of clip. We all watch those videos, dude. Shout out that guy, honestly, but dude, like, get some inflection going. You know what I mean?
We also have one review on like Apple Podcasts is like, too much of a bro talk. It's like, well, that's kind of like our white space. We're like the bros in the content creation space. You know, it's like they're hitting us, but it's like, fuck you.
Mostly go fuck yourself.
But I will say what I do think where we did find the white space is like, we three have experience shooting different styles of content.
Right,
like we're able to bring different perspectives that I don't think other podcasts have been able to do. Like, obviously I do the concert stuff and social media stuff. Braden does Lakers, and you do like cars and a lot of commercial work.
Keon cuts a mad clip.
And Keon cuts mad clips.
Hang out.
He vibes pretty hard.
Keon vibes.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's rare to get such different perspectives. And I feel like that has just led to us being able to give away like a ton of value.
Dude, you can get in where you fit in, baby, or you can make room.
Nice.
Remember that, dude.
Nice.
With whatever thing that you're going into, there's always room for you to have a seat at the table and to make whatever thing it is that you want a reality. It's more just, if you got to push, you got to put forward your consistent effort, and you'll find your way, baby.
And try to become, undeniably great, where even if a niche is very saturated, if you are just that good, like, you're going to get the results no matter what. So
dude, there's always room for people to be the best at said thing. If you really want to put in the effort at whatever brand, company, YouTube, whatever, if you want to be the best at it, and you look at other people and you're like, I can do better than this. Stop saying that you can do better than it and just start going and doing it.
And do your own. And also, like, if you start now, so like, I'm a big Part My Take fan, right? And they talk about how they were inspired by the boomers and like the early days of ESPN and whatnot. And they're like, in 10 years down the line, there's probably going to be a sports podcast that say that they were inspired by us, and that would be awesome. And it's like, if you start those 10 years earlier, by the time they're on their way out, you're on your way in.
Finding the white space isn't always the easiest thing, like because of how much content and stuff is out there. But an easy way to find the white space and to separate yourself is just to like talk to camera and show your personality, because you have unique perspectives and takes on things, and you're gonna talk about something differently than somebody else. So like, you finding the white space might just be you bringing your personality into your content.
Yeah, most of the shits are 99.98 has already been said, but it hasn't been said by you.
Yeah.
Right.
It hasn't been said in your way, in your style of filmmaking, your style of design.
You can bring in your personality without even talking to the camera too.
Absolutely.
It's like a funny cut. It's like here's something,
Exactly. 100%. Next one we got up is community is everything, because we wouldn't be able to do any of this at all without you listening to us and helping us grow the show and sharing it with your friends and telling your mom about it. That's the biggest one.
Your mom's a really good listener.
My mom actually listens to that.
Yes, actually so true.
Keon's mom
She's
is
the best.
My mom does
diehard.
too. My mom does too. No, but I think a lot of the times people, whenever you grow something, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, I think they forget why there's success there in the first place. It's because of the connections that you make with the people that are truly tuning in. And we've done a great job, I think, of trying to include you on the ride with us and answer your questions in the DMs, even though it's crazy. Because I remember telling you, I was like, there's a day where it's not going to be possible. And we're like, yeah, when the fuck is that going to happen? I remember we were maybe at like 1,000 or 2,000, had no requests. If you open the requested DMs, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it's like, damn, bro, we still chip away at them though. Like, whenever there'll be days where Kostas and I'll hop in for like an hour, dude, and we'll just grind through those DMs. It's crazy. It's insane.
It's crazy because if we don't answer DMs within like a week or two, you just keep scrolling.
Right.
It's like, dude, I can't even. It gives me anxiety. I can't keep up.
I actually went through for the first time, I was like, dude, I gotta get into my. There was 10 in there, and I felt bad. Yeah, dude, let's go.
Come on, dude.
And hey, some of y'all too long. I was just sitting, like, I was just like, God, I'm gonna respond to a lot of these, and then there's one that I still haven't got. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. It's so long, but I feel like it's a good question. I just haven't read the whole thing yet.
See, would you guys say that the too long cold DM is like too much? Because like some people just try to
always
put everything in to like get their one chance in the DM, like get it all out at once. But is that?
I feel like honestly, whenever I send DMs to people that I want them to read, it's got to be short, sweet, and to the point. Because I know people are busy, and personally, if they're an essay, it gives me anxiety, and I'm like, damn, I can't respond to this with text because my hand's broken.
And I can't respond to this on like a red light. You know what I mean? Like, I'm crank two of these out at a red light. It's like that one's, I can't even read that in time.
But I will say it's a really cool feeling, regardless of the length of them, to just have to know that like you're impacting someone with helping them for this question. And even in the Discord, like I see it, trying to just think of ways to keep people involved. Like there's a channel called Big Dubs, and every day, dude, someone posts 10K bag, $1,000 client deal. I just closed my first one for $500, and it's so cool to see all these people on their unique journey of like, yo, I just got this job, or I'm working full time, I got $100K salary. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, you guys are all eating in your separate countries and doing this together, and you see all these other people doing it as well. And I think it's inspiring, and I think it also helps just progress everything further, because now you think that there's so much more access to the information to get into this thing, and then you have hundreds of people that are also doing it too. Hopefully by the time we do this, maybe thousands, but like, they're all doing it together. So when someone messes up or someone has a big accomplishment, it's like you can learn from that, and it just helps everyone around you get exponentially better.
I also think that this line of work that we do, like especially if you're freelance, it can be extremely isolating. So I think community is so huge because you want to feel like you're part of something bigger. And if you're trying to build a brand, you want to create something bigger than just yourself. And that obviously comes down to community. And something that we just experienced was Sam Newton's Film Festival. And I think he's done an incredible job of like building community, but that shows you that like there is power in building community and bringing people together, because people left that feeling super inspired. And it was just so cool to like see everybody in one place in person, because how isolating this can be. Like oftentimes we're just like in our room editing if we're not out shooting.
Right.
We're doing a live pod. Season
We
3.
Got it, dude. That's like my own thing. The only thing I want to do.
It has to happen. Okay.
Yep.
It has to happen. We're gonna do it in LA, and I think by the time this episode is out,
We'll get a cool guest.
I think we get like a panel of the squad, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think we rip a live
Little, like, round table?
little Potarooski, and then you get a little panel with the squad.
Oh. Like squad is in like
We get Babin to come
we get
out for the
Babin.
weekend.
Nate Norell just for the energy.
Nate Norell, baby.
It's gotta be up. We should have him like dancing.
He
and
should have his
stuff.
own segment.
He should, yeah.
It's like tap dancing.
yeah. That's a great idea. Dude, we should really do a live
In
pod.
his penguin outfit.
I'll
His
save-
live action memes.
Yeah. I'll save up something good, for it.
He's got to recreate them. No, it's great. But for real, we really couldn't do any of this without you. So I appreciate you tuning in every week. Like even if you're a casual listener and this is your first time ever tuning in, like it's amazing. And like we couldn't do any of it without you guys sharing the stuff.
And thanks for giving suggestions on what we should do and like what you need help with. I feel like
Facts.
that's been a big thing is like listening to y'all and being
Totally.
like, oh, that would be a good episode to make. Actually, that's a good idea. And it'll help you and maybe other people feel the same way.
The next tip is ideate as you go. Don't wait for something to be perfect before you start. Perfection is the enemy of progress. And how often do we say, I relate to this specifically on the fact of like, I often am like, oh, I can't do this until I get X or whatever. And I think it's caused me to wait too long to do certain things.
You do be doing that.
I know, dude.
You're always like, well, once I get this camera, then I'm going to start. Yeah. It's like, once I buy condoms, then I'll have sex. You gotta take that out. Actually, you don't gotta. But no, actually, something I was gonna say is that the continued pressure of like, okay, I put out 4 episodes. I don't have an idea for 5. No, I'm just gonna keep going.
Land it, dude.
Land the plane.
No, I'm not going back to that. I don't have an idea for 5. The pressure of that makes your brain think of an idea. You know what I mean? So if you like, oh, I don't have 15 ideas scheduled out, written down in a row, how can I go on? It's like your brain is going to force yourself to come up with something good in that time frame.
The deadline makes you creative.
Exactly.
Dude. It does. And you elevate to whatever boundaries you set for yourself,
Well, also like what we thought would be a perfect, in quotes, perfect podcast episode 1 was not going to be even close to as good as episode 101.
Right.
So
Hopefully.
what you think is perfection or what you're striving for at this point, if you're putting in 5-10 years of time, like you're going to improve to the point where what you think is perfect now is mediocre at best
Right.
down the
Hopefully,
line.
yeah.
Yes.
Even like with I think with anything that you put out, whether it be design, photo, video, everything that I've done, at least, if I give it 2 weeks of rest and I haven't looked at it in 2 weeks and I go back to it, I can always find something to change. And I think though that's on the game of trying to make it better every time. And every time we do practice a pod or you get to practice making a video or designing something, you do get the most micro amount better. Your process gets refined. You learn maybe something new. You have to look up an After Effects template or something. So you end up getting better, but at the time, in the moment, you don't feel like you're getting any better. You feel like you're probably like flat. But if you go from, your 0 video or day 1 of the year to day 365, you're drastically better at telling your story, vlogging, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Dude, Kostas, it's funny that you said that you dig like yourself in the perfection rabbit hole and like wait for that to get things started, because on one of the pods you said you start where you're at and you go from there. And like, for some reason, I just like always kind of play that in my head. Cause I'm like, that's really the bottom line. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the only place you can start from,
Dude, look at the thumbnails from episode
rough, dude.
Episode 1.
Here's why, dude. I had my hands in too many things in the beginning, dude. I shouldn't have
You
picked
did
out the font.
You did the thumbs?
I did the font, the bad font. I also made the song 505 Podcast.
Dude, the fact that we used when the guests would be here and Chase would be like 1 sec and he'd be like,
we didn't make it that awkward though. It was kind of fun.
It was hilarious.
It was weird though.
I feel like Babin was the one where I was like, he's like, oh, you play it through the phone. We're like, we put this in later.
Yeah.
It's you just kind of gotta.
We kind of dialed it in a little better now.
That was so funny,
but yeah,
dude.
we weren't great at it yet.
No.
But
Lots of planes that didn't get
we just kept
landed.
going,
Lots
you know?
of flags on the play.
yeah, lots of flags on the play.
I was always getting flagged.
yeah.
Kept getting flagged. When we did them late, dude, I'd get flagged.
Yeah.
Or 8 a.m.s, dude.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on.
you get punchy, you know?
Yeah. 8 a.m. flags.
I think one of the things that has really transformed our episodes is the like 1 to 1.5 minute intros of the guest. I realized that like we just would go into the episodes with no intro, and so you like don't really know anything about the guest. And I feel like something with a podcast specifically is like the first minute is so important because the audience
Right.
wants to know. Obviously, they're clicking on it for the title, but like you want to let the audience know what they're about to, you know, listen to for the next hour. And so like I think us doing those trailers, picking like kind of those best moments from each guest or like from the episodes really elevates the podcast and something that we didn't do for a while.
Bro, we stock these guests, bro. I go to the first gram post
Yep,
of
just
every
scroll.
one of them. First YouTube post, I cross-reference on podcasts. I literally, if they've spoken on any medium, I listen to it in 2x speed, and I'm just like jotting down notes, trying to learn a little bit more about them. The next episode is Jacob Owens, dude. I've consumed everything about this guy. I know this guy's whole entire life story,
go.
and I'm really excited about it. But it's just, I think it also shows when the guest shows up and you throw a question out from fucking 2015 and they're like, it's 2024. They're like, where did you find that?
Right.
I think they love that. And it
Right.
also just shows that we care and we're really interested in their story. And I think it just brings a better conversation to the table when you do stuff like that.
Okay, I was just gonna say you guys absolutely fucking crush that, and you can just tell from watching the conversations because like it usually doesn't either. It takes the guest like a second to think about it because like it's a great question, or there's like it's just very free flowing because you guys did your research and you know exactly what to ask them on things that I guess they're passionate about or whatever. But they
Yeah, I think
explain
just
that
to like
great,
summate it, it's just like you're not going to be good when you fucking start. You know what I mean? Like the first fucking photo, video, everything you do is probably going to be bad. Like ours, I'm sure we're bad. And then you just get better because you keep forcing yourself to do it and you're just going to get better as you go.
Totally.
100%.
So we can skip over the fifth one and we can go into 6, which is go into guest episodes prepared / do your research. Brain jumped the gun a little
That's
bit
where I
on
thought
that.
we were going.
What did I do?
It's fine. You jumped the gun a little bit and it's all good, dude. But we can go into that and then we'll go back to the fifth. We'll go back to the 5th one.
Wait, can I say one more thing about
Yeah,
the?
yeah.
I was so confused on what I did.
So there's a whole category called go into guest episodes prepared and you did a whole lot of that.
It's okay. I couldn't even.
We're gonna keep this all in because it's hilarious.
You know what I did? I did an accidental scroll.
I've done that before.
Got ahead of yourself,
I got
huh?
lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
Got
I've done
lost
that
in the
on a
sauce.
guest before.
I got a little lost in the sauce.
I've been there. I liked it.
101.
You had good stuff to
You
say.
would think, dude.
Yeah,
you
and
would
we're
think-
still bad at it, dude.
No, also, when I hop on the mic with you guys, though, like, because you guys do this every week, I do not do this every week. I hop on the mic, you guys just start flowing. I'm like sweating a little bit back there. I'm like, all right, mumbling my words, but
Dude, the funniest thing is, bro, like I'll have these, like I'll have the notes and I'm like, this is the exact order in which we should do it. And then,
But you need one of those.
And then every so often, Braden will like go like scroll and he'll say something that I'm like, we're not there yet, dude.
and you want to just like adjust it.
Oh,
But dude, let him go.
100 of them, dude.
You know
We're
what it
learning
is, though,
stuff.
dude? It's just my ADD brain.
Oh, yeah,
it's
dude.
just going over here, dude. Dude, the other day I found a TikTok that I resonated with so hard. It was this guy, and he's going to take out the trash. I've done this before. Goes to take out the trash, puts the trash down. Was supposed to do something like call somebody, get on him, like do
yeah.
something. And I'm downstairs plugging in the Tesla and then coming back upstairs. And I'm like, in my brain, that made perfect sense. And this guy like goes to take out the trash. He drops the trash, leaves the bin open, goes and chops a thing of wood.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, I'm
goes
always
to his
doing that.
backyard. He's like Tanny. He goes, fuck, I was
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to do that
yeah,
thing, dude. That's every day for me.
I do that. Like I'll like put clothes in the washing machine, and then I'll go into the kitchen and I'll start like chopping a thing. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't start that. And I'll go over there, and I forgot the vacuum. So like I don't know.
I've lost stuff for days because I'll put it like I'll open the cabinet to put some like let's say that let's make an example that I had a piece of food, right? Instead of bringing the plate out, I'll set the food in the plate in the cupboard.
Oh,
and then I'll close it
no.
on accident, and then I'll go do something else, and I'm like, where is the food,
Yeah, I
dude?
hate that,
It's
dude.
just a weekly thing for me, man. I finally figured out the wallet thing and the car keys thing. You got to have an AirTag if you have ADD.
have to.
Got to have that. And then the wallet thing I have on the back of the phone. Never lose it anymore.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, game changer.
How many times would you say you've put a beverage in the freezer to make cold
Over
and
100.
then left it in the
And
freezer
explodes.
and freezed it.
Over 100.
Yeah.
At least, dude. I've
there's always
lost
a frozen one in there.
100 times $4. I've lost at least $400 in Yerbs in the last like 5 years.
Oh, I bet.
Easily.
Dude, my favorite, and I don't even know if we're podcasting anymore, but
Oh, we are.
My favorite thing is that Braden, every time I went to the grocery store, would buy sliced cheddar cheese.
I forgot about
And
this.
would not check if he had sliced cheddar cheese.
about this.
And at one point came home with sliced cheddar cheese, put it away, and there was like 12 sliced cheddar cheeses full, dude. Like there was like one with like a slice out, maybe another one with a slice out. There was so much fucking cheese in there. You're like, this is what I do. I buy my cheese.
Oh, dude, I went through my cupboard the other day. I had fucking Frosted Flakes from like 2021.
Oh, yeah, they preserve, dude.
I was like, holy shit.
I don't think Frosted Flakes expire.
No,
A
God.
little bit of mold.
God.
Anyways, some life advice, something that we've learned.
Yeah, on that
is-
topic of bullshitting.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, hey, podcast tip, but you got to bullshit a little bit. Don't go
Yeah.
just straight into the meat and potatoes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Eat an appetizer.
Totally.
Am I jumping the gun?
No.
Oh,
I would
Christ.
say, though, let's go into guest episodes prepared, do your research. Let's kind of, tie that one in a bow. You started off great. And I think that, I honestly do think, though, that if you don't prepare and do research on the guest, it's pretty disrespectful to the guest if you're
Yeah.
just like, so tell me about yourself. Like, someone who I think does this incredibly well is Sean Evans on Hot Ones. Like, the celebrities, there's compilations constantly being like, that's a great question. I've never been
Right.
asked that before. Like, how did you even know that? Almost like on some Nardwuar stuff. But I think you got to go in prepared. If the guest has some sort of like short film that they've made, or just scroll through their Instagram, or just do research on them and give them the respect of like, hey, they're giving you time out of their day to come podcast. Like, you owe it to them to do the research.
And most of the people that you're going to talk with are super busy, dude.
Totally.
So they're giving you that hour, 2 hours, whatever. It means a lot to them, I think, when you're prepared. And something that we started doing towards the tail end of last season was just having show notes for having a form for them to fill out. And the form, the form changed everything, because then instead of you guessing like what they want to talk about, you hop on the phone, you chat for like a little bit about it, and then you have this awesome form to kind of start your initial, deep dive. Like, you've done your deep dive, and you have this, and then you really can go deeper into the things that they do and that they're interested in.
Yeah, it's like late night shows have like a pre-interview where they get on the phone, they talk. It's like, treat your podcast like it's something real, like it's a fucking real show. You know what I mean? Don't get too casual with it. Like, make it legit.
I will also say we even go as far as to like think about the flow of the conversation of how we want it to go beforehand. I feel like when we were first starting out, we were like, oh, we'll just start about like, so when did you pick up a camera? And we kind of like went
Right.
chronologically, and then we kind of switched it up, I would say midway through, of like, oh, this was like something crazy that just happened that's recent. Let's start with that, because that's really interesting, and then we'll go from there.
And it also hooks the viewers
Exactly.
in. And when you're dealing with a show that's an hour plus long, and maybe it's someone's first time listening to
Yes.
us, and it's something like, we're just like, oh, so how'd you get your start? It's like, bye, see you later.
Right.
People are gone, dude. People have the attention span of a squirrel. So if you can get them to hang out with you for an hour, it's a big ask, and it's awesome that they're enjoying it for that long to hang out with you and say, okay, like I'm gonna kick it. You also never know what people are gonna like, dude. You throw so much stuff at the wall with a podcast or with social content, with anything that you're doing, and some of the episodes that we've done, I feel like you're sitting there, and maybe after, I'm like, I don't know about that one, Toasty. I don't know about like if that one's gonna hit. And then the messages are just ridiculous, or others that I'm like, we're going to the moon, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to the moon.
Flop.
It's without a doubt. We get no views, no whatever.
I feel like whenever we have an episode where we finish and we're like, oh, that wasn't that good, those are the ones that always do good for some fucking reason.
Because Ghosty edits it so
Yeah,
well,
it's a good
dude. You
cut.
make us sound good.
Yeah, I'm always leaving like, oh.
We've had a few where we're like, oh, we knocked that shit out of the park. And then we get some messages like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I realized during probably like almost 80% of the way through season 1 was, I remember when Keon first started coming over to the apartment, I would be in the room, I would be finish my day, whatever. It's like, say it's 6. Then I'd start cutting podcast clips. Then I would film a video for a coaching program. Then I would do a video of a reel for myself. And then by the time it's 11:30 and I'm burned out and I'm exhausted, and having you, Keon, take the reins on just saying, hey, let me let me figure this out with the social, and you rising to the occasion. It's the coolest thing in the entire world when you put someone in a role, and if it's like, hey, you have to do A, B, and C, and they do A through F, and you're like, oh God, like this person gives a fuck about this thing. And whatever role it is that you end up going into in any job, if you do what you're supposed to do and you try to innovate and help on other things, people will take that like so much to heart. And if there's a chance for you to grow, if there's a chance for you to do anything bigger, they're always going to give you that opportunity. And I think, having you with us, there's no doubt in my mind that we would not be where we're at if you weren't here at this table. And it's cool to see you now managing people and like practicing that and like doing your thing and teaching people just like I taught you in the room. Bro, I remember vividly being in the hottest fucking room of all time with like 2 lights going on, making coaching videos, and then I'd be like, okay, Keon, let's hop in the podcast, dude. And I would just chef and he'd be like, why are you doing that? I'm like, gotta cut the fat, dude. Gotta cut the fat. Like, pay attention. Like,
yeah, right.
Come on, dude. You asked that yesterday, man. Right. It's funny because I hear you talking to other people that we've brought onto the team. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Big Nick. And it's cool because I'm like, damn, this is exactly what I remember doing with you, and it's just super cool to see. And I don't think without good people, things can't happen. Things like cannot progress. It's impossible. Everyone is doing other shit or other things and they're bogged down with other stuff. So when you have someone who kills a role and takes it to that next level, it's priceless.
Yeah, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say something else that you brought to the table that I think is a great, like, someone that you're going to hire, you want them to do this, and it makes them a great employee. It makes them a great worker. It also makes them a great boyfriend if you do this. You take what was asked of you, cut clips. I can cut clips. And then Keon's like, I'll also do memes on Friday. And you didn't even ask them to do that. They just knew that would be good and you would like that. It's kind of like your girlfriend's like, take me on a date. I'll take you on a date, and I also brought flowers. You know what I mean? It's like a little separate, and I did the laundry. A little separate thing that they didn't got to ask for. Keon did that spectacularly with so many different things that we were like, I didn't even thought of that, and I didn't ask you for it. You just did it, which was dope.
And you've done things that have became a part of the culture of the show.
Right.
Like no other podcast about cameras does memes that are funny on Fridays. It's just not viral. It's just not a thing, dude.
I like this. The left to right. I will say, when I was doing a lot of real estate video content, the guy Ben Bellack that I was working for consistently, we did a few episodes where he like interviewed other very successful realtors, and one of the consistent pieces of advice that these successful realtors gave was learning how to delegate. And I think that's so true. It's like similar to you, how you're like, okay, I am trying a bunch of different things. I'm learning what I like and what I don't like. I think as a business owner, if you're trying to grow something, you have to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are and figure out what's the most important thing for you to do. And then what do I delegate? Because you can't do it all.
No. And once we brought you on, I feel like it was meteoric, dude. Like within, I want to say 6 months. Is that a fair statement to say? 8 months? What do you think?
What is happening in 6 months?
When you got good at it.
Yeah, once you got good, and I feel like just the growth of the Instagram specifically, I feel like we saw the most growth and the biggest community on.
It was interesting. I don't know. I feel like
maybe a year.
So I'd say like when I first started with you guys, going off the point of view saying I was putting that extra work, whatever, because man, I was loving those fucking long days, bro. Just because I was learning so much and I could like feel the growth happening like in real time. And before that, I was like, I didn't even think I liked like learning, bro. Like I hate fucking school. Like I was like, I just don't like learning. But this guy really like showed me, and I really put my best foot forward and did as much as I can to provide value to him and to the team. And like, obviously I would listen to the pod beforehand and I fucking loved it. I messaged him. It was like one of my favorite pods at the time. And I just had such a belief in it. Like I would tell my friends, my buddies are like, dude, are these guys like paying you? I'm like, you're like fucking working for like 4 hours a day. I'm like, dude, not right now. But like, I believe in this shit so much that I have like complete faith that in due time, like it's all going to come together. And as far as us picking up the ball with momentum, I mean, I would say the first year that I worked with you guys, or with you specifically, not a ton of traction because like, you know, we were kind of on and off, like some of us were gone, this and that. And then I was still kind of learning how to go about it. And then by the time, I'd say after a year, we had maybe 2,000 followers on Instagram, let's say.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then in those next 4 to 5 months, I'd say we got to 10K. Then from 10K to 40K took like 2 months. Yeah. Because like I was just like continuously getting better, and I was doing clips every single day. I would be doing clips 3 to 4 times a day just because I kind of picked up that would be helping to help us grow. And I just naturally got better from doing it every day, and the clips got better fast. Like there were certain moments where it just got better, and from there we just hit a big push.
And I also think you developed our voice on social.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a voice at all on Instagram or on TikTok, and you took it upon yourself to like, oh, we should probably make these little titles, and like that'll be good to, so when someone's scrolling they can see, oh, consistency is key, or how blah 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 did X, Y, and Z. And I even noticed with most clips on social to this day that I get sent to review, 99% of the time my opinion is to cut the fat of the clips. There's like, they're hanging on a clip for 5 seconds, it needs to be there for 2 seconds. Or there's a play where the ball goes through the basket, I'm like, okay dude, get to the next important thing that we're seeing. And you picked up on that really fast, because I feel like every day was like, this needs the fat trimmed, and you would just get it now. And now when you show me other clips, you're like, yo, this needs to be clipped, like this needs to be faster. I'm like, yes, this needs to like get into this quicker.
He's watching your videos and critiquing you.
Yeah, he gives me,
Right.
that's what he keeps telling me. He keeps calling me every night.
It's gotta be better than that, dude.
You gotta get tougher, dude. But I see it, and it's like that is the reason why the clips became so much more buttoned up, and they looked, even though at the time like not a ton of people were listening or watching, they looked like a pod that had 1 million people tuning into it. It was like, you know, once you got nice with it,
Once
bro.
I picked it up,
That's what I'm saying.
bit,
Yeah, and like I think in 8 months, 10 months, you were at a level that was like, this, if I showed this to anybody, you'd be like, oh, this is a well lit, sounds good subtitles. Because most people too, besides on TikTok's like one of the few platforms where people listen with sound on, and Reels, some of the time they're listening with sound on. There used to be a stat when I was in college that like 80% of people weren't listening with sound on Facebook and Instagram. So even having subtitles, if they're listening with sound or if they're in a class, right? It's like, it's helpful for people to be like, oh, I'm still going to consume this podcast, even though I'm not listening to it with the volume on.
Yeah. And as far as like cutting the fat, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like I'm cutting like a 3 to 4 minute conversation. I mean, 2 to 4, anywhere in that range, down to a minute. Right. And there's just no room for any like, you know, obviously any dead space, any any of that stuff, and no like repetition, right? Just provide as much value as you can from that conversation to the audience in that 1 minute, because they don't want to be sitting around hearing a bunch of random shit. They just want to hear what they want to hear. So
I will say though, like when we start, because there was a good amount of time when like we weren't doing the short form content. We were just doing the episodes, and kind of like you were saying, like we were all kind of doing other things. We honestly didn't have you at the time. When we started doing the short form content, I feel like everything really started to take off and change for us. And I would say like for someone starting a podcast, if you do want to grow and take it seriously, my piece of advice would be like, you gotta film it, because I think the short form content has been the biggest key to getting new listeners. And oftentimes, I would say 99% of the time, someone's like, yo, I found you through the clips and I saw enough of them, then I went to go listen to a full episode.
Everyone that we talked to at Sam Newton's Film Festival,
like, oh, the clips.
Yeah. Like, oh, I see you on our Explore
like,
page.
Yeah, like TikTok or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then it's honestly, if you think about it, like, you know, a marketing funnel, that is the tippity top, is trying to just get someone to say, hey, come hang out with us for longer than 10 seconds. And it's like, okay, I now followed you on Instagram. Now I see a couple of these every week or something. It's like, okay, cool. Come on, go check out one episode. It's like you get hit with it enough times. Like, this is actually helpful. I'm going to go check out the full length episode. And maybe, just maybe, they'll tune in a couple times a month. And then maybe they turn into a frequent listener.
Also, something we started doing was like ripping old clips again. Because I feel like we were so fixated on like, oh, we've already posted that clip, we can't do it. But then we had so many in the backlog. It's like, oh, we posted that like 6 months ago. Let's resurface it. And another key point is like, just because you've talked about something before, posted about something, doesn't mean you can't repurpose that content and post it again. Because the first time, people probably weren't listening.
Yeah, that's been a massive help for us as far as just getting content out. Like we're continuously growing our audience, getting new people that haven't seen these clips, or even if they have, like, the attention span is so short. You see something 4 months ago, like you forget about it, but then you see it again. You might remember that you've seen it, but like it's a good reminder and it's like a good refreshing, just to have that idea back in your brain. And
can you touch on what you were telling us earlier about how when you decide to post, 3 to 4 clips a day, you're more strategic than I initially thought. I thought you were kind of just like, like what clips do we got? We're going to post. But go into like how you decide what types of clips to post.
I mean, as far as I would say from like one episode or just in general.
Well, you were
on
saying
a daily basis.
On a daily basis. Okay, yeah. So I definitely I try to include as much variety as possible in the clips that I upload just to try to reach all our different audiences that we have, because, you guys talk about a bunch of different stuff. You talk about social media, brand deals, like videography, photography, editing. Like we have all kinds of different guests of different niches on. So in a certain day, I'll try to hammer like 1 or 2 to 3 just different topics to try to keep everyone engaged, because if say I just posted two weeks of our 2 newest episodes and people weren't really resonating with that, we're kind of losing some people's interest in the account versus reminding them like, they talk about all kinds of different stuff, not just travel videography or not just brand deals or whatever. So
Word.
Totally.
And I think one thing that this is interesting about this pod is we bring our own lingo that we say in our everyday lives like into the show. And most people on a pod are buttoned up. They don't cuss. We are very authentically ourselves, dude. We cuss like sailors, Chase.
We're not getting those sponsors that like don't want any cussing, and we just never are, dude.
Well, that's just who we are.
We're gonna ruin the product. Yeah, I feel like it's like I always like an Irish singer who like sings with his Irish accent or her Irish accent. It's kind of the same thing, like just be you on the mic, because it feels more genuine and it's just like funny. I don't know. And
dude, I think that when I was doing YouTube in college, we've talked about this like a bunch, how we were like playing characters, and I'm like, totally. Well, dude, and you look 100%. at what the biggest people are doing at that period and you mimic it, right? Totally. So you're seeing these people, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta probably fucking do something close to this, right. And
gotta wave my feet in slow motion.
Yes, dude, being on this pod and doing 100 of them, the hands.
Yeah, dude.
Love the hand
movement
things,
watches.
MVMT. Being on this show, I feel like has made everything that I do better, because it's allowed me to just this is it. This is what you're getting, dude.
Right.
And it's very hard to fake something for over fucking an hour, dude. You can't do it. You can't play a character, and if you can, dude, you need to go be DiCaprio. You need to get off the mic.
Right. Go act, dude.
Go act, dude. Go act, dude.
You are right. Like we're going to Burger Lounge after this. We fucking better be. I'm really hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving. I forgot about. I can't wait to go to BL, dude.
But our conversation is going to be basically the same conversation. Yeah. We're talking about different stuff, a little dirtier stuff, but it's gonna be like the same shit. You know what I mean? It's gonna sound the same.
Yes.
And that's what I think is important to have in a podcast. Is it should sound like you're just like out to dinner with your buddies.
Yeah.
I will also say though, there are certain things that are like very specific to our podcast. The one-handed crack, and other things. But
nice.
Crashing birds, dude.
Calling you guys rocks.
Yep.
And
dude, a lot of my sayings have just stuck, man.
Yeah.
You got good saying. I always say like if he drops things like, oh, that's good for the phone, I always say
you do have good sayings. You kind of came into this apartment with good sayings.
It is the IP.
Yeah.
He has created the IP of this pod.
Because I do use a lot of your sayings.
I forgot about that. It's good for the phone. Yeah. That's a good one. I just drop shit all the time.
You do.
Every day.
This man, we're 5th floor, right? We're on the ledge. Guy just has his C70 on this tiny square, not even touching it. Like 200K.
Yeah, I knew it was safe.
I will say though,
it was 200K. I wish I had money.
Like I said, not a camera guy.
Yeah.
I specifically remember when we had Loud Luxury on, they were telling us how they structured their show where there's like show moments, and it's similar to like a talk show, right? Like how is a talk show formulated? The host comes out, he has the monologue, and then they got the band, and then they have like moments with the crowd, and then the guest comes out, and then there's commercials, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like if you can think about structuring your podcast as a show and thinking about those show moments, it makes it feel more like a show and not like you're just sitting down and willy-nilly just going about it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, this has been episode 101 of the 505 podcast. If you're still here, please give a like, drop us a comment, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.